Thank you for your interest in being a volunteer at Calloway County Schools. This video is about volunteer training and will show you the things that you need to know for volunteers. In this video, we will learn about school safety and volunteers, general volunteer information, and confidentiality. But before we get to that, we have to say thank you. It's important that our volunteers know how much they're appreciated, and we can't say enough how much we really do appreciate all the work you do for our students. Whether it's in the classroom, on the athletic field, or with the band, we appreciate all that you do to help our students succeed and to make our school district great. To begin, let's talk about school safety. Volunteers should contact their teachers and schools ahead of time. When you arrive at your school, make sure you check in at the front office. Every time you enter the school, please bring a photo ID with you to check in and state your purpose for being at the school. Once you check in, please wear a volunteer or visitor tag where students and staff can see it. Before you leave the school, please make sure you sign out in the front office. Ask the teacher or school what to do in the case of an emergency. Could be a fire, severe weather, earthquake, or an active shooter. Students practice these drills regularly and know what to do, but make sure you talk to your teacher or your school and make sure you know what to do in an emergency situation. Follow directions from the teacher in an emergency situation. If you ever have a concern about something you see or hear in our schools, we urge you to notify the school's principal. This could be something with an individual student or something you see with a group of students. New for the 25-26 school year is information from Senate Bill 181. Again, this law went into effect during the summer of 2025, and that law restricts unauthorized electronic communications between employees and volunteers and any Calloway County students. There are no unauthorized electronic communications allowed with any volunteers and any P12 Calloway County students. Unauthorized electronic communication includes phone calls, text messages, social media, video game chats, or any other unapproved electronic communication. If you do have the need to communicate electronically with a student outside of the school day, you would need to use an approved messaging app or learning management system or district email, anything that has been board approved for electronic communication. Parents and guardians can sign a waiver form to allow communications between their student and a volunteer, and that waiver form must be kept on file at the school. Family members are exempt from this law, and that family member is defined as parent, brother, sister, son, daughter, aunt, uncle, and grandparent. General volunteer info. Make sure you always treat all students with respect. Only teachers can assign discipline, so please do not ever discipline a student or assign a punishment for a student. Please be punctual and dependable. If you say that you're going to be there on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, please be there on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. If our teachers depend on you to pull students or do tutoring, it's important that you let them know if you're not able to be there. Comply with the student dress code. Volunteers do not have to dress with a shirt and tie or their Sunday best like teachers, but they should comply with at least the student dress code. All Calloway County schools are tobacco free, so please do not bring tobacco products onto the campus or use tobacco products on the campus. And each school should have a volunteer work area. Please find out where that work area is if you're not sure where to go. Other general volunteer information. Always maintain a level of professionalism. Please don't ever let your cell phones ring while you're in the school, and please don't be on your cell phones unless it's an emergency. You're also not allowed to bring outside food or drink into the schools. Never take any pictures of students without a teacher's permission. For example, if you're with a teacher in a classroom and the teacher wants you to snap a few pictures for their teacher website or for their own social media, you're allowed to do that. You're never supposed to post any pictures of students or anything that you do in the school on social media. If you are sick, please stay home. We don't want to spread disease or infection to our students or our staff, so please do not come to the school if you are sick or have symptoms. And always have a great attitude. We want volunteers to enjoy being there. We want students to enjoy having volunteers there. And we want our volunteers to be helpful and be a positive influence. So always have a great attitude in our schools. Confidentiality. All schools have to follow the FERPA laws for confidentiality. Confidentiality is protecting all personally identifiable data, information, and records collected, used, or kept by the district about a student. In general, what you see or here in a school should not be discussed outside of the school. Volunteers should only have the information needed to complete their assigned task. You should never use any personally identifiable information in conversation outside of the school. That personally identifiable information includes a student's name, a parent's name, the name of another family member, a student's address, a personal identifier such as a social security or student number, or a list of personal characteristics that makes it possible to identify. You should never use personally identifiable information outside of the school or with anyone in the school that is not entitled to that information. An educational record includes anything the district collects, uses, or maintains relating to individual students. Health information, school pictures, photos, attendance reports, work samples, test results, progress monitoring data, personal data, family data, and discipline reports all are part of a student's educational record. This includes data or info that is handwritten, drawn, or typed. This also includes photographs, audio, or video taken by teachers. More about confidentiality. Do not seek out information from others that isn't essential to your volunteer duties. Do not look through cabinets, folders, or closets for student information. Do not access computer files with student information unless it's necessary. Work with your teacher in school on what access you should have to student information. There will be times that professional sharing is appropriate. When discussing a student, consider the following in your conversation: who, what, where, and why. Who is listening? Does the person have a legitimate educational interest? If others are listening, do they have a legitimate educational interest? What is being discussed? Is there any personally identifiable information being discussed? If so, does this person have a legitimate educational interest? Where are we discussing? Discussions about students should take place in private only, and not in a public place where others could overhear. Avoid all student conversations outside of school or school events. Why are we discussing? The conversation should have legitimate educational interest. Stick to professional education discussion and stay away from gossip. Avoid sharing rumors, opinions, or hearsay. A scenario for confidentiality where confidentiality was breached. You have access to Infinite Campus and you look up your friend's child to compare grades and behavior with your child. Is this appropriate? In this case, it would not be appropriate. You should only have access to information that is important for you to do your job as a volunteer. Looking up information about your friend's child would be a breach of confidentiality. Scenario 2. You volunteer in a first grade classroom. While in Walmart, a student and their parents see you. You and the parents discuss the student's reading progress while in the store. Is this appropriate? If this were in the school, it could possibly be appropriate. The issue here is it being in Walmart. You should not be discussing school matters outside of the school area. Walmart is never a place to discuss reading progress with a parent. In summary, as a volunteer, we want you to have fun. We appreciate you being a volunteer, and you wouldn't volunteer unless it was fun. So we appreciate you being here. Please be safe. Please follow school safety procedures. Be professional. Be reliable and be on task. And keep it confidential. Keep school items, school information, keep all of that at school. Thank you for volunteering at Calloway County Schools. If you have any questions, you can contact us at our district office at 762-7300. You can check us out on Facebook or Twitter, or check out our website at callaway.kyschools.us. Thank you for watching.